everything changes.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Trunks, and today I'm bringing you guys a new Dark Elixir farming strategy for Town Hall 11. Now, I am not the creator of this strategy, but I am going to bring you some additional tips that I have seen from my experience of using this strategy. So what we are going to be using, we'll go ahead and jump straight into the troop composition. We're going to use 19 baby dragons, 10 balloons, and in the clan castle we want to bring a hound, a loon, and a rage, and we're going to have 2 lightning, 2 rage, 1 freeze, and 1 earthquake. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the screenshots that I have been collecting of my loot. As you can see, I've been getting huge amounts of Dark Elixir as well as gold and Elixir. My net cost on this is I'm gaining the gold and I'm gaining my Dark Elixir, and on the Elixir I'm coming about even, and then my war loot or my attack loot from the end of the attack is putting me plus on the Elixir. But we'll go ahead and jump into when you first want to scout for this attack. One of the first things you want to look for is you want to locate the air defenses. If you have your heroes, then try to use your heroes to at least take out one of the air defenses. If possible, if they're close to the side and you can get easily into them, you can use a few baby dragons to go ahead and funnel, like the first example here, and then we're able to get in and collect some high tower buildings. If you can't get to an air defense easily with your heroes, then just save them for the end, so that way you can collect some extra loot in the end, or attempt to go for one of the big things that you're trying to go for that if you didn't quite grab it. Another thing that you want to look for is if the Archer Queen, the enemy one, is standing beside an air defense. When you go to lightning that air defense, if she's standing beside it, the lightning will damage her, taking away some of the damage that she has to take, and you'll be able to take her out easier. You also want to scout for these sweepers. You don't want to try to battle them the whole time, as they can cost you some loot in the end. It's not going to be a big deal because you'll have enough rages to be able to battle them and fight them, but they can slow you down, preventing you from getting all the loot that you're attempting to get. And another thing you want to look for is also if the expos are on the ground. But as you can see on this strategy, like I said, if you have your heroes, start off with trying to get one of the air defenses, and then you're going to zap another air defense that is not going to be on your entry. So that way you have basically a straight line coming through the core of the base. You'll be able to come straight in for that Dark Elixir and then be able to grab any of the additional resources that are there. Now, another strategy to use on this is we want to maximize the baby dragons. Now, when they are close to their air troop, they go back to their normal form and you lose the rage form. So once we zap that first air defense, we want to place baby dragons. It'll be very easy to use them to take out a side of the base, maybe create a funnel, but we want to maximize their rage ability. So we want to space out, and if we can possibly, or if there's buildings that are close together, just place down one and then have it where you can place another down right behind it as soon as it gets taken out. The baby dragon, if it only has 1 point defense on it, it can tank for a decent amount of time, and then you can just drop in another baby dragon behind that to go ahead and create or get the rest of the loot, whatever you're attempting to do with it. As you can see on this one, we go ahead, the queen is standing beside an air defense, so we zap it, and then you can see she takes some damage. It's not a ton of damage, but it is a little bit, and every little bit helps. But since that air defense goes down, he's got an expo at the top that's on ground, so the only towers up there being able to take out the baby dragons is the single archer tower. So we're able to take out a good portion of the top, snag a lot of that loot, and then make a huge funnel. And then on the bottom side, we kind of do the same thing. But like I said, we want to maximize the baby dragon's rage ability, so spread them out a little bit. Then on your entry, we'll talk about the entry. When you come in on the entry, your Grand Warden's obviously going to be with your troops, and you can clump up the baby dragons because that's where you're going to be using your rages. But the key on the entry is actually the balloons. We don't want to drop them all in the same spot. You kind of want to fan them out, because if there's multiple defenses right there in the front, you don't need 10 balloons going to the exact same point defense, air defense, tower, whichever defenses are right there. you want to spread out the balloons a little bit so that way they can go to multiple towers. Underneath Rage, it will only take 1 or 2 shots for a group of 2 to 3 balloons to drop any of those point defenses. So we don't want 10 balloons all targeting the exact same tower. Like I said, if you can't use the heroes to take out an air defense easily, use them at the end. As you can see here, I'm able to pick up a good amount of loot in the end. But your spell comps and using the spells, you're basically going to use them all on your core rush of your baby dragons and balloons to get them through. And the freeze can either be used on a multi-inferno, the eagle, to hold it down for a little bit longer, or if you're able just to get through the base relatively quick, you can use the freeze spell on the backside air defense to give your troops some additional time to go in there and get that extra loot for you. And one of the last things that you want to do is you always want to reserve about 3 baby dragons. Once you drop a troop, you kind of lose the ability to control where it's going to go. It really can only go to the towers that are around it. So we want to hold at least 3 baby dragons in the end, so that way if there's any additional loot, town hall, maybe we have troops that go around the base and they don't go exactly where we want. So you want to save those last 3 troops to be able to go in there and get the additional loot in the end. Ring bases are extremely good for this strategy because, as you can see, I'm able to use the heroes to get in there, take out a good portion of the top side. For the funnel on the bottom side, we use that zap spell to take out the air defense, and then just a few baby dragons are able to get in there and pretty much clear out a good portion of that bottom side. In the core, he has all of his expos on ground, so that is a big thing to look for. And then he has 1 single targeting inferno and then 1 multi. So we'll use the freeze spell on the multi to make sure that the balloons just stay up longer. Don't take too much damage, but as you can see, everything is going to be rage to get right into that core. And we had the Grand Warden to pop the ability early on, so that way the eagle doesn't take too much damage on our group. And another good thing about the balloons, if you can get them out front, they will actually soak up a good portion of the traps, the seeking air mines. It's a whole lot better to lose a balloon to a seeking air mine than a baby dragon, since the baby dragons will be the ones going in and getting all the resources for you. But that's basically the idea behind it, is use the baby dragons and the zap to create a nice funnel at the beginning. If you have the heroes, use those as well. And then you're just going to core dive with a good portion of baby dragons and the balloons fanned out. You're going to have a hound coming out of the clan castle, and then you're going to use your rages and freezes with your Grand Warden to make your way into the Dark Elixir or the core. And that's basically it. Saving a few troops in the end for the cleanup. Doing this strategy, though, like I said, I'm not the creator of it, but I am giving you additional tips that I have used to successfully take out a lot of these bases. As you can see, if they don't have a clan castle, it'll be pretty easy sometimes to get that 100% and get all of the loot, netting you big returns in the end. But if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the bottom. I will try to answer them and help you guys out, so that way you guys can get the big loot as well. But until next time, this is Trunks helping you guys keep it over 9,000.